Hey there, Knuckleheads. It's been a little bit. It was Thanksgiving weekend last weekend in Canada. So there were a lot of leftovers, and then I was traveling around a little bit, so I didn't do a lot of cooking. But I'm back, and tonight we're going to try a fun little recipe. We're going to make homemade Donairs. We're going to be using a combination of lean ground beef and pork. It's coming from Metzger's meat products here in Hensel, Ontario. Should be about a half pound of ground beef and a half pound of ground pork. Okay, just throw them in a bowl. Then the recipe calls for about a half a cup of finely chopped white onion. I'm going to use one medium onion for that. Okay, the recipe also calls for about a half a cup of finely chopped parsley. Okay, and once you've finely chopped your onions and your parsley, just add it to your mix. And now, I'm going to add some Donair's spicy, this is the Donair's original. Just a couple pops of that. I've had some of my Canadian followers give me some feedback. You know, Luke, what do I do if I don't have Donair's? Well, my first response is get some. You can order it on the website. But failing that, I am working out my recipes these days to include what you would sub in. I use Donair's for the health benefits. Okay, low sodium, no gluten, no sugar. It's just overall, it's a great product and it's really good for your health. But I will include, the proper amounts of salt, pepper, paprika, things like that to add to my recipes moving forward, and I will post those recipes in the comments. All right, and then just for final kick, I'm going to use some of Troy's Hot Sauce Experience, the purple stuff I've mentioned in the past. This is really great for red meats and things like that. It's got a really nice kick to it. I'm going to make it hot. What the hell? It's just me. Okay, and once that's mixed up, add some breadcrumbs. Okay, somewhere in the range of about a half a cup. So about a half a cup to start with. If you're finding that it's still really moist after that, you can add more. Right, breadcrumbs will take the moisture out. Okay, and then we're going to put this into a parchment-lined baking tin. Parchment paper, honestly, parchment paper is mostly just to make it easier to get it out afterwards. Okay. And you're going to want to really pack this down. Right, Donair meat is quite dense. And get it patted down. Try to get it spread as evenly as possible in the pan. And then once you get your meat spread nice and evenly, take a second sheet of parchment paper, put that over the top. Okay, and this is where we're starting to get a bit of a difference between something like this and a meatloaf. So you're going to take that, you're going to put that over the top, and then you're going to take another pan, should be about the same size, that's kind of important. Okay, press it down a little bit, and then add some weight to that. Okay, we want this to be dense, not like a meatloaf, which still has some air pockets and things like that in it. So we've got the weight on it, and now we're going to throw it in our preheated oven. Oven's preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to throw it in for an hour. All right, Knuckleheads, we're back. Let's pull our Donair meat out of the oven. Rested on the lovely new swag I got, the Cooking with Knuckleheads cork trivets. Ooh, that looks good. All right, guys, we're gonna let that rest for a minute or two. And in the meantime, let's prep our sauce. So, we're gonna use a half cup of sweetened condensed milk, a quarter cup of white vinegar, think 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Throw that all in together, and then we're going to whisk it up. All right, Donair sauce all whisked up. So, we've taken our Donair meat out of the oven. We've let it rest for a couple of minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it out of the original pan. And then we're going to lift it out of the pan. Yeah. Guys, this is so tender it's just falling apart. But it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. What we're going to do is we're going to try to slice it really, really thin. Alright, just nice, easy, thin slices. So once that's sliced thin, I'm just going to move this forward. We're going to grab our pitas. I've steamed my pitas because they're easier to work with that way. Nice and hot. We're going to put our Donair meat on. A couple pieces of the Donair meat. Obviously, we need the sauce that we just created. Gonna drizzle some of that across the top. And I'm gonna opt for some red onions. Some tomatoes. And some green pepper. Okay, we're just going to wrap that up. I've never been good at the wrapping, guys. I'm going to wrap that up. I'm going to give it a taste test. The zestiness of the Donair meat with the sweetness of the sauce. And then the ingredients I've added, like the red onion, really, really good. This is definitely a recipe that you tweak as you see fit. Okay? Heat level, ingredients afterwards. Do what you're going to do. The home baked Donair meat is kind of the most important part. That came out really, really well. And again, I'm going to post my non-Danos recipes so that anybody who doesn't order the Danos or doesn't have the Danos can still make these. Alright guys, I'm going to go eat. This is so good. Be good to each other. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you really, really soon.